Kieran, welcome to Corsham Town. You're the new first team manager. How difficult has it been settling into the club given what's been going on off the pitch?
Yeah, it has been difficult, but I guess it's the same for every new manager going into a new football club at this moment in time. Obviously, there's a lot more important things going on in the world than Western League football, but I'm happy that we're here for the first session, and it's been really successful. Seen loads of young lads come through, potential new signings, some old faces that I haven't seen for a while, and yeah, it's just nice to get back to basics with getting the balls out and then a good blow at the end for the boys as well.
And you've been at Trowbridge Town and you've been at Melksham Town with a lot of success. A lot of people, when associating your name, would link it to a much higher club, Melksham Town. So I guess my question is, why Corsham Town?
To be honest, Corsham's been something that I've always been keen to keep an eye on. I come over and watch them the last couple of years. They've done like a steady job the last few years under in the former management team, and it was just almost like an exciting project to take on. I had a great time at Melksham and at Trowbridge, but that doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed success here. But yeah, it's just something that's been really interesting to hear the new chairman talk about his ambitions and they match mine, and it's just to almost have like a blank canvas and come in and you can almost design the team around what your beliefs are and your views are. So I think that it fits in better with my personal life at the minute as well, with work and things like that, without the super high commitment of the Southern League, managing budgets and things like that don't come into it at this level. So yeah, it just fits in nicely at the minute, but also something that I'm really excited to get stuck into.
And you touched on it very briefly there. Justin had obviously done well with the squad that he had brought together, bringing up a lot of young players like Corey and Jake Dodge and Ash Ouchin. How much of that squad are you going to be changing? How can you improve the squad so we can challenge for top two?
It's given everyone a fair crack in pre-season so far. We've had a lot of lads in today, like stuck into their groups of six, so you get a nice balance of seeing who people are and getting to meet them. But they will all get a good chance over the whole pre-season, so I can take a firm look at what we've got there. And if the lads are good enough, it doesn't matter how old they are, they'll be given the chance and they'll look to cement their first team place this season. But if they aren't quite ready for the first team, some of the lads that have come up for the 18s, and there's a great stepping stone with Jamie in the reserves this year. We're looking to integrate all the clubs together, which I knew one of the main objectives for Joe was to do this year, is make sure that the club is one as one whole team and one whole club mentality. So that's what we've done with pre-season. We mixed in the first team, under 18s and the reserves, and split them up into sixes, and there'll be new signings coming in and around that. So I like it competitive. I like it that people are fighting and chomping at the bit to be in the first team. But if they're not quite ready, then the reserves is a great platform, and hopefully we can keep with that for the whole season. If you're doing well for the under 18s, you get a chance for the reserves. If you're playing well for the reserves, you're getting a chance at the first team. And if you're not quite doing it at first team level, then you drop down to the reserves and you do your time there, or if you're coming back from injury or suspension. So, they have done a very good job over the last couple of years cementing Corsham as a solid top half team for Western League, but we're looking to kick on. That doesn't mean that we'll be top of the table or anything like that a couple of people have said to me. We've got lots of work to do, we've got lots of fitness to get, and hopefully whenever we start the season, we hit the ground running with good preparation under our belt.
And today was the first pre-season training since you took over. What's your assessment of that? Because obviously, just watching you've got very high standards. So what do you make of some of the new players that you've met? How do you think they cope today?
I think from myself, Higgs, and Gilly, what we wanted to set out for this season is make sure that everything we do, that people aspire to be at that standard. They're not just turning up just to go through the motions. When a new manager comes in, you have that freshness and everyone wants to impress you, but it's maintaining those high standards throughout the whole of pre-season and the whole time I'm here. So a lot of lads come back a lot fitter than I thought. Maybe the lockdown has given people time to get out running and things like that, but it's the short, sharp stuff with the ball that we've seen today, and some sprint work. So that's the stuff that will start to bed in over the next 5 to 6 weeks. Hopefully announce some new signings, and the guys that have stuck around from last season, if we can mix a couple of those two together and keep ticking like we have done today, then we'll be in good shape for the start of the season.
And as I said at the start of the interview, when people around here hear your name, they associate it with Melksham Town and a lot of success. So with that comes a lot of expectation down here with your name. Is that something that concerns you?
No, I take that as a compliment. You know, the success that I had at Trowbridge got me the move to Melksham, and then the success that I had at Melksham with the promotion was something that I'm very proud of. But this is a fresh challenge, and you don't gain anything from your previous record that gets you any further up the ranks in the Western League. You still have to do your homework and make sure that the players you brought in are the right fit for the club, the training's up to standard. But everything I do, I like to be organised for, and I like to make sure the boys are fit. But at the end of the day, it's a completely new challenge, a fresh challenge for me, one I'm excited for, and I don't feel any expectation that we should be winning leagues, because we don't know what's gonna be brought to us this season, and there's also going to be a lot of strong teams that are going to be building around the Western League as well. You don't know what other teams from Bristol are going to bring to you this year, and it's just something that, not to let any of the boys get carried away with it. They think they're going to turn up and they're just going to be a top 3 team straight away. We're going to have to work hard for it and make sure that everyone's prepared for that challenge.
Mm-hmm. So following on from that then, going into the season when it does eventually start, what's your ambition for this season? What's the short-term ambition for you and this team?
The short-term ambition, I think, would to be make sure that we are challenging for something, whether that may be a good cup run, and just sort of breed a winning mentality. I don't think Corsham have won anything since Nobby Bush's era, so that's something that I'm desperate to do, but that doesn't mean that it's going to happen straight away. The short-term ambition would to make sure that we are challenging for that, and the long-term ambition is to gain promotion. The chairman wants to be in the higher Western League division, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen in the first season. But we'll do everything to be prepared for challenging, and if we're not quite there this season, then we'll go away and we'll work harder for next year. But we've got lots of time to prepare for it now, and I'm excited to get going. And if we can give it a good bash this season, and who knows, we might be near the top, we might be top 6, but there's no expectation after last season and what we're leading on for. So I'm excited to get going, and it's just a blank canvas, a clean slate, and an exciting time to be a Corsham fan.